In this video, we're going to go over the steps of deep cleaning the glue pot. First, let's blow off any settled dust around the glue pot. Before you start doing anything on the glue pot, you want to detach the glue level cable. That's the red cable that wraps around and goes into the probe on the top of the glue pot. This will tell the machine to disregard if the glue pot has enough glue in the glue pot and won't dump molten glue onto your arm and burn the flippin' gosh dang out of you. Now we can start taking a few things off the glue pot to make it easier to clean it once we take it out. This heat cage has 4 bolts, 2 on the top and 2 on the bottom. Careful not to drop those bolts into the void of no return that's inside and underneath the bander. Taking off this application guide by removing a bolt behind the edge banding height adjustment. Then loosening this middle knob should make it a little easier to get to the bottom bolts on the glue pot. Now we can remove this plate by removing this one bolt. Next, we'll take out and clean the glue level sensor. Removing this bolt will allow you to pull it out. Just be sure to be gentle with the cable. Damaging the cable guarantees the purchase of a new $1,200 sensor. No pressure. The next step is to remove the top cover. 1 bolt on the front and 1 bolt on the top. The bolts are hot, be careful. With that off, it makes it easier to access the inside of the pot and clean it. We're going to do the old popsicle method of cleaning the insides. The idea is that while the pot is up to temperature, you stick a solid piece of wood as deep as it will go inside the reservoir. Turn the heat off, wait for it to cool completely, turn it back on, have it warm up a little, then pull all of the glue out of the pot. Make sure the wood is solid because you'll be pulling pretty hard and it will break anything else. A piece of melamine will for sure break in there and cause all kinds of problems. Don't ask me how I know. While that's warming back up, we can clean the glue level sensor. Now that it's cool, you should be able to peel any glue off with your hands. Don't scrape it off with anything except your hands. Remember, $1,200. Once the temperature has reached about 160 degrees Celsius, it should be ready to pull out. It warms up pretty quick, so you don't want to miss it and have to do all of that all over again. I recommend prepping the pot and putting the stick into the pot the day before so that when you come in the morning, it will be fully cooled down. With the glue removed, we can start scraping out any burnt glue that has stuck on the inside of the pot. Make sure you use a piece of wood instead of anything metal. The inside of the pot is coated in Teflon, which helps prevent glue from sticking to the inside. If you scrape that off, you'll be doing this every day. Now we can start detaching everything, keeping the glue pot in place. There's the power cable and the air line that's left. Turn the air off the pot by flipping a switch that's located on the platform next to your leg if you're standing in front of the glue pot. Now you can remove the air line. Now you can deactivate and unlatch the glue pot by flipping the switch to the left. At this point, we can remove the pot entirely. Watch for the tentacles attached to the pot and try not to damage them by yanking on them. Bring it on over to our handy dandy Glue Pot Cleaner 3000 trademark. Oh, and don't drop the glue pot unless you want to give up your firstborn to pay for it. Again, with a wood stick, scrape any burnt glue and dust off. You want to get as much off as possible before the pot cools down. It's a lot easier to clean it while it's hot. If it does cool down before you could get all the goo off, you can put it back in the bander to warm up. Plug the power and the airline back in and turn the glue pot back on. Once warmed up, detach everything, shut it off, and try again. It's also a good idea to clean out where the glue pot was sitting. Just try not to get any glue to fall in where the pot goes in. You don't really want to glue the glue pot in. That's like glueception. An easy way to clean the parts that we pulled off the glue pot is by getting a container that can hold lacquer thinner and let those parts soak in it. I don't recommend using lacquer thinner near the actual glue pot though. Real hot things and lacquer thinner doesn't mix well, unless you're like my backwoods uncle who's into setting highly flammable materials ablaze. Also, wipe your parts off really well before putting them back on the glue pot. You know, explosions and stuff. Now we have a not as crusty glue pot to put back in. Just do all the steps you just did, but backwards. Also remember to take a shot for every time that I've said glue pot in this video.